So I got some snippets from a YouTube short about a woman who claims to be a doctor talking about the future of AI and the effects it's going to have on the human race and how quickly it's coming and how bad it's going to be and what jobs are going to be affected. And in large part, I do agree with her. But let's see where she takes us.
I think that this future is coming at us faster than we can even imagine.
I think this future's coming at us faster than we can even imagine. I somewhat agree, but I mean, GPT has been developing for a long, long time, and they have been stealing information in order to train their AI faster. And I believe some guy got whacked for leaking just how much they steal with content theft to train the AI more. So I mean, that's definitely part of the reason training has been so expedited because no one's going to try to, I guess, charge ChatGPT when people know that they can remove so many white collar jobs with ChatGPT, right? So yeah, that guy got you know what I said? He got whacked allegedly. Okay, I'm pretty sure he allegedly self undid himself. That's the claim at the very least. That's what it looked like according to people. But let's see what else she has to say.
And the more we can get ready for it now and see the future, which I think is going to dramatically change very quickly, the better off we will be. So,
So yeah, when it comes to seeing the future, like I said earlier, I mean, I think it is mainly a matter of white collar jobs getting boned, taken out of the rotation of things that people can end up doing. I think a lot of them will. I think even software engineers who work on firmware in particular. I think I heard this news quite a few years back. They're unable to, or the AI is able to replicate what they do, which means they may be out of a job. So there's going to be like AI managers, AI checkers, people verifying that the AI code is good, even on the software development level, which is pretty surprising, astounding. I don't know if it's super worrying. What's AI itself is not worrying. I think the problem is the powers that be, so to speak, being what actually should worry people, right? It's not about AI automating everything. It's the fact that the people who, can influence the military um, no longer need us. That is the real danger. That is the real concern with this massive automation. Um, because what are they going to do? Are they going to leave us alive? That's an actual question. I sincerely mean that. Or do they think we're going to be a drain on resources and let us starve? Maybe shoot us? It's such a weird idea of like, what are they going to do if literally everything can be automated by robots? That is the biggest concern. Are they sadists and they like torturing humans? We just don't know. We just don't know at all what they're up to. I have my suspicions, but YouTube, you know, won't take too kindly to certain things, we'll say.
that we are looking at in the next 5 years is going to be so drastic that it's hard to even imagine.
Rate of change so fast, it'll be harder than we can even imagine. I don't actually think so. I think physical robots that can effectively do skilled labor, such as trades, will actually be a lot more complicated than people may think. Now, when I say that, what I mean to say is that it's going to be like 15 years out. Like, it's still pretty fucking close, but I think 15 years out, we may be able to replace tradesmen because these things learn fucking fast, okay? They're very good at learning. They're better than us, right? They're smarter than us. They can predict where things should go. Like, think about an electrician, a plumber, these people, and HVAC, right? So these three need a lot of interior wall space, right? And one thing that AI can do, if there's a single AI construction company, is plan out the entire interior of your walls to be most efficient for you and for this house, which is something that tradesmen struggle a lot in. So this is a massive, huge advantage that AI has over humans, and it I think it'll be pretty fucking quickly, like AI construction contracting company. So I do somewhat and largely agree with her, and I think, but I don't think it's going to be 5 years. I believe she says 5 years is the time that she expects AI to do this massive takeover. I think, especially for the physical labor area, I think it's going to be closer to 15. That is my suspicion. Um, Maybe 20. Hard to say. I guess AI production, or like actual robot physical facilities, need to be um, properly produced because I we would need mass production of those bodies to actually replace the blue collar jobs. So the thing is, typing into a computer, anything you can theoretically automate, like for obviously typing, clicking a box, like a CAPTCHA box. All this is theoretically automatable. AI will knock that out, no fucking problem. That part's super obvious, right? But the blue collar jobs, because those require actual full physical bodies, that has got to take, and they need the manufacturing capabilities necessary to actually make the robots to do those, to do those jobs. In addition to that, they also need to train those bodies to do those jobs and potentially update them, and then take them back in when there's safety concerns and be able to refine the algorithm to minimize safety concerns. So, you know, I think it won't be 5 years. It'll be like 15 years, I believe, for these robot physical bodies to take over and kill us all. That is my suspicion. I believe that is going to be what happens. Maybe 15 years is a bit long, a bit too short, maybe a bit too long. We'll have to see. But for the manufacturing, I think actually I'm on point. We'll say, okay.
Where all work is done by machines. GPT itself, it's 50 years ahead of schedule.
Reach a point where all work is done by machines. I mean, I can see it. I guess maybe I'm too optimistic. I think she may be targeting me when she's speaking in a weird way, where it's like, it's gonna be faster than I imagine. That could very, very well be me who she's talking about. Now that I think about it, maybe I'm just a doubter. But so ChatGPT is 50 years ahead of schedule. Well, if I knew what the fuck that meant, I would be. That could be like hype for investors. Is one thing you have to remember. It's 50 years ahead of schedule. No fucking way. Oh my god. No way. It's 50 years ahead of schedule, guys. We gotta buy now. Like this is something that has happened. I believe a few times in history. I saw a video earlier. An example was I guess it's not exactly the same, but it's similar. But it's the overhyping of tulips in the past, only to crash the tulip market. There's a chance that AI is just has some limit we haven't yet seen that allows certain jobs to be kept. But I do think not the white collar ones. I'm kind of coping. Maybe I'm seething kind of that blue collar jobs will be saved and I'll be in it. But it's to be seen how difficult it is for a robot to gain the motor functions that humans have. I wonder if finger joints are complicated, knee joints, arms, elbows. Elbows are pretty easy. It's just the smaller ones like knuckles might be harder to produce en masse in a way that is maintainable, right? There's also the question of, will these robots need Wi-Fi wherever they go? That's a good question, actually. Like, will the robots... Well, I guess Starlink is an option. So there may be an entire field where Starlink covers where people are just completely fucked. Like, there's no work there because robots take all of it. That would be quite something. Okay, now one thing I want to touch upon is the grand conspiracy nature of this stuff. I know Yuval Noah Harari said something like 7 billion people are useless eaters, and he's not, with AI, he's not entirely wrong, but I wonder what the solution will be for these supposed useless eaters. Like, what... Is it, like, if we just have infinite stuff, you don't really need to kill the extra people in theory, right? Sort of. You can keep them alive, but then what? Do you, like, torture them? How malicious are the overlords, I think this is an important question to answer, because that kind of determines if our fates are sealed to get fucked, and if you should rope Max instead, so to speak, poke. But yeah, it depends how benevolent our overlords are, because the thing is, they won't want an excess, especially of human males, who can revolt against the system and potentially kill the overlords. That is a big no-no for these people. So, like the men, and like maybe a slight excess of women for the people at the top, that's an option. There's no way even a benevolent overlord would let that many like young men full of hormones just live unchecked to do whatever they want. It's such a hard sell. Would they isolate themselves and just live in paradise? Like, what is paradise if you can't compare yourselves to pieces of shit like us normal folks with an S, XS. But it just depends on the nature of the overlords, I guess. I don't think that maybe I'll clarify in another video the way I see that, like the supposed elite class. Are they benevolent? Are they pieces of shit? I guess probably better expanded on later, but there definitely is obviously billionaires. The question is how malicious and how intertwined are they? But as for the AI question, well, hopefully I'm dead before then, frankly. I don't want to find out. Anyway, thank you very much. See ya, I guess.